welcome to this weather video with Alvin Kamal, as we do want to talk to you about the potential for some active weather as we're moving towards the upcoming weekend, specifically when we have to monitor for storms, because it isn't going to storm all the time, but there's a specific window where we're probably going to have to monitor for some active weather. So let's break it down, as we're going to start with Monday, especially parts of Kansas and Oklahoma where the storms are going to initiate. You can see a moderate risk for them and a marginal risk for St. Louis. This basically means that we have to monitor late Monday night and potentially even into early Tuesday morning. The time could change for a weakening line of storms to push east towards us. And again, these would initiate in parts of Kansas and Oklahoma and potentially move into our area. The question being, how quickly will these storms weaken? Some forecast models show them maintaining their strength, others show them weakening. If the storms were to maintain their strength, we would have to monitor for wind and hail and maybe even a tornado threat. And that's why this isn't a guarantee, but it needs to be monitored closely, because we need to know exactly if these storms were to strengthen or if they were to just continue to weaken as they move towards our area. This forecast model that I was looking at earlier shows again those storms initiating in parts of Oklahoma and then moving east towards us as we head towards that late Monday night into that early Tuesday morning. And notice how this forecast model doesn't really show weakening. Hopefully that doesn't happen while a lot of people are sleeping, but if this does, of course, that is why I do want to let you know, because some forecast models show it weakening, others show it strengthening. So hopefully you understood that, because now we have another potential for some storms as we head towards potentially late Tuesday into Tuesday night. But I'm really low confidence on Tuesday. We'll see if my confidence increases for this or not. But as you can see, we do have a marginal risk and a slight risk for parts of the U.S. Of course, this is something I'm monitoring. As you can see, we're in that marginal risk. But there's lots of uncertainty and questions regarding the placement of these storms. And also, this will also depend on how much energy is available after the early morning storms on Tuesday. So again, Tuesday into Tuesday night, this late Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night has to be monitored closely. And the timing could also change with this, because there's still questions regarding how much energy would be in place to even fuel these storms. But that is also another time frame I'm monitoring. And I'm also monitoring Wednesday. And there's big uncertainty with this, but it is still something to monitor really closely, because of course anywhere in this zone all severe weather hazards will be possible. But again, there are lots of questions regarding where the storms will develop. And let me just say it like this: anywhere in this zone, of course it says Missouri, of course we have Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, anywhere in that zone is where we're going to have to monitor for all kinds of severe weather. And that's why Wednesday has to also be monitored. It isn't a guarantee, but again, Wednesday has to be monitored very closely. So of course, you guys know the drill. I'm monitoring this, and I will bring you frequent updates on Twitter as necessary, because of course this is an active weather pattern, an active weather week potentially, and it may not impact everyone. In fact, all these storms this week could miss your house. But again, there are specific windows we got to monitor this week. And so of course on my Twitter page and X, I'll have outdoor weather reports going more in depth on these severe weather potential or storm potential in general. But of course, this is also another reminder, if you have a NOAA weather radio, to replace the batteries on them. It's May 5th, the day you're watching this video. We are in severe weather season, and so you want to always have multiple ways to receive warnings. So make sure you replace the batteries on them. Alerts come quickly, and especially even on your phone. Anytime we're talking about severe weather, anytime you're put under a watch, whether it's a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch, you want to always have multiple ways to receive warnings. So leaving your phone off silent, not putting it on do not disturb, it can bring you a warning at the middle of the night as well. So this video isn't to alarm people, but I am monitoring as we head towards late Monday into early Tuesday. That timing could change. I am even monitoring as we head towards part of Tuesday. That timing is a little bit difficult to pinpoint at this time, and potentially even as we head towards Wednesday. So you want to have multiple ways to receive warnings. And of course, a NOAA weather radio and your phone would be a good resource. And of course, we've been talking about active weather. You've probably seen all the severe weather in parts of Nebraska and Iowa, Kansas and Oklahoma. And I know a lot of people, not just here in St. Louis, are tired of us talking about storm chances. But of course, I'll be here and I'll be monitoring it closely. Of course, beyond this, you're probably wondering what's going to happen. And we're going to look at temperature trends as well as the potential for some precip. And looking beyond, between May 11th and the 15th, the Storm Prediction Center, or the Climate Prediction Center, I'm all confused between the two, of course, has us in below normal temperatures favored, potentially as we head through this time period. This does not mean chilly, okay, because we're in May. This means slightly below normal temperatures for this time of the year, and potentially some below normal precip, but of course that could change. Looking at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, it still shows our temperature trends leaning at least below normal and potentially our precip getting to near normal. So potentially even within this time period as we continue through May, there could be a couple of times where we're going to have to monitor for some severe weather. To recap, just in case you didn't understand this, again, we're monitoring for the potential for an active weather pattern as we head towards this week. It begins in places like Kansas and Oklahoma. Those areas are like bullseye for severe weather on Monday. But for our area, we're in a marginal risk, and we're expecting the line of storms to weaken as they move towards our area. This HRRR shows those storms initiating in parts of Kansas and Oklahoma, weakening as they move towards our area, but this specific model shows those storms maintaining their strength. And if they maintain their strength, we would have to monitor for wind and hail. As we move towards Tuesday, we're potentially going to have to monitor late Tuesday and potentially even into Tuesday night. But again, that timing could change, and really just be on guard all day on Tuesday because we're really uncertain with the time. But again, this will depend on how much energy is available after those early morning storms that I just spoke about. And again, this outlook could change, the threat could change. And again, it isn't a guarantee that your house gets hit with storms. And we potentially have to monitor Wednesday also for the potential for some strong to severe weather potentially anywhere within this zone, from Arkansas, parts of Oklahoma, Missouri, potentially here in St. Louis, Illinois, Indiana. Anywhere in that zone on Wednesday, we're probably going to have to monitor for severe weather. So I'm going to be bringing those updates on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you're following me in case I'm not able to bring immediate updates here on YouTube. And again, like I'm repeating myself here because I want you to know, because of this potential for some active weather, especially if you know anyone in Kansas and Oklahoma, especially as we're heading towards Monday, have a NOAA weather radio any time of the year. Make sure you place the batteries on them because alerts come quickly. Again, this week's storm threat is not a guarantee, but it is something to monitor, and I will be keeping a very close eye on it and keeping you updated on my Twitter page, and of course maybe here if I'm able to, but specifically on my Twitter page or X. So make sure you're following me on there to get those weather updates. Hopefully this video was understandable. I'm going to go on Twitter or X to make an outdoor weather report to go a little bit more in depth with this storm threat. Until then, stay safe. And of course, we'll be monitoring this potential for active weather. It will not last the whole week, okay? It's not going to last the whole week, but there will be specific time periods like we just talked about that we have to monitor for severe weather, specifically potentially as we head towards Tuesday, potentially even into Wednesday of this week. But again, it really depends on what happens. Forecast models are really questioning how the late Monday night into early Tuesday morning is going to play out. But again, it's something that we're going to be monitoring very closely, and I will continue to bring updates on my Twitter page. Hopefully this video made sense, but until then, I'm going to end it right here. Make sure you're liked and subscribed with notifications on so you're notified about my next video, and make sure you share this video if you know any loved ones that do live here in St. Louis or maybe even in Oklahoma, because there is some severe weather possible May 6th there. Until then, I will see you in my next weather video.